Hey y'all, it's Indigo here. This is round 3 of week 1. We're in season 9 right now, back to 5v5. And this is the finals. I won my first 2 matches. Didn't have a chance to really do homework on this opponent. You know how week 1 goes. You don't get to see any history as to how they like to play, what they like to do. So it looks like this opponent goes pretty light. I mean, the front zones don't look too bad. You can see up top there's a Newt squad. He's got just a standard Grievous squad. And then look, a Karth team that's relicked up with a Wampa in there. So nothing too terrible anyway. And he's got both Galactic Legends, but they're not up front. Look at that. It's just Bounty Hunters up front and then a Kira squad. So since I won my first 2 matchups, there's a couple things I want to try this round, and I have the opportunity to actually try, and we'll see what happens. So the first thing I want to try is, you saw his Bounty Hunters all relicked up with Mando and Grief. I wanted to see if Imp Troopers could still take them. I have my doubts, they're faster, obviously, but I just didn't know if they could put enough damage when all the Bounty Hunters are relicked. And I haven't really been up against a set of Bounty Hunters that are all relicked up, yet still slower than my Imp Troopers. So this is the first time I ever got to try this out. And you can see right away they went after Veers. He's still gear 12, him and Death Trooper. So that's why I was hesitant to try this out. They went right after Veers and got him out. I was able to take out Mando, but they got their contract off. And once that happens and they get too many turns, there's no sense in keeping at it. So we'll go ahead and just forfeit this, this round, and then go back in with what I should have gone in to begin with, which I knew these would work because I've seen other people do Bosk Bounty Hunters with them, and they work fine. But I really wanted to test if Imp Troopers would work, or if I need to add more relics to them, mod them up, whatever. Just strengthen them a bit to make sure that they can take out all relict bounty hunters. So it's an unfortunate loss there. But you can see here that they're not having trouble. Bosk went first, got his taunt off, did his thing. But Geo's hit hard enough, and they've got enough health sharing and all that equalization that they can't really kill him. There's not enough damage from these bounty hunters to be able to do anything. Got rid of Bosk. Now I'm just going after Mando. Got rid of 1 kill on him, so pop that bounty hunter's resolve. Now you can see I already got him to the yellow and he's gone. And they just make short work of this bounty hunter team, which is fine. I know that Geos can work against a couple different squads, but I really want to get my Imp Troopers back into fighting shape. And if that means I get to start working on relicking all of them and maybe take them to 5, maybe some of them to 7, I don't know. I think that might be my next investment as a squad, just because I really do want to keep the utility of those guys, and it's, too bad when they fail and don't work. So that being that, you can see the Geos had no troubles with this team. I did try to cycle back through and see if I could heal them up. People give me crap about that because I don't know what all the Geos do and what moves do what. But I did try to see if there's any way that they could gain some protection back. But I just didn't get around to it. Like, I keep seeing Spy's big hit is up, and I didn't use that. And so I'm just doing basics on everyone else, trying to do what they can do. I skipped Spy's big hit there, and just basics are too much damage. So I didn't get to go back around and heal everybody up, but I got through with it. And for that Kira team that he's got down there on the bottom, I'll just take him my Empire team, and that way I'm not burning anything too good, and I've got plenty of firepower for the back in case he's got a Galactic Legend back there. You can see that this team doesn't even barely get to go. He's got, I guess it would be a good timeout team if it came to that. You got Vandor in there, relicked up. You've got relics on Han and Chewie, of course. I could see how it could be kind of a struggle if you were running low on teams. But against this EP team, I've got Darkseid Bassil in there, Thrawn, Vader, obviously. I mean, they don't even get to do anything. So, yeah, it doesn't really do them any favors there. I've got half of everybody stunned, shocked, plenty of debuffs on the field. I was just deciding who to go after, trying to make sure everybody's topped off on protection, just because it's tough to tell whenever they lose like a little bit. You'll see, I think it's his Han gets off, one or two shots, and so it's tough to tell if somebody's missing just a little bit, and that's going to cost you 1 point, or whether they're all the way full. So that's all I'm doing with Thrawn, is just trying to make sure everybody's topped up and ready to go. Other than that, I'm just working on Stormtrooper Han. He is pretty tanky. Let me say that. He's going to be probably, aside from the M-Trooper squad, he's going to be one of the next characters that I work on, just because I want him as a solid tank, maybe for a CLS team. You guys know we have Jedi Knight Luke now, and I'll probably be moving Old Ben to my Jedi Knight Luke team, and that means I'll need a tank to go with my CLS team. And ST Han fits that bill perfectly. He's a really solid tank once you start taking him to Gear 13 and putting some relics on him. So I think that's what I'll plan to do, start doing that. As you can see, he's the last one standing here. And yeah, I could flip it to auto and let them tear through him, but I just wanted to watch kind of how it was to take him down. And it does take a good amount, to be able to get him down. I didn't want to use a culling blade. I was just using regular attacks and whatnot, just to see what kind of damage I could do to him, because there's no danger of timing out or losing or anything like that. So it's just an opportunity to get in maybe a little bit more testing on different things, and I like to do that where I can, just because we don't have a sandbox mode or anything like that. So just throwing debuffs down, doing little hits here and there. Got him into the yellow. Again, a culling blade will probably just finish him off, but just took him down. 60 banners there. Done with that. Open up the back, and look at what he's got waiting back there. Back in the back zone, I figured that he would stick one Galactic Legend back there, so he did, and it happened to be Rey, so no big deal there. I've got my Kylo saved, and I'll go ahead and use that here. Going with just basic first order. I've got Crew in there also as a tank, so we'll use him. He makes a really solid tank under Supreme Leader Kylo. If you have a modded, like with defense mods and protection and everything, he's pretty solid, I would say. And I like the fact that he does his little counterattacks, gets a little hit in here and there. Even though it's only, I think, 2%, it'll help heal up, help charge up your ultimate meter. And every bit of charge you can get on that ultimate meter is a huge plus. You want to make sure you have that meter maxed out and ready to go, depending on when the enemy Rey flips into her ultimate stance. You don't want to be left where she's going to one-shot you. I'm sure you guys, if you have Kylo, have been in that situation. Sometimes she'll take 2 turns real quick. Sometimes she'll be in her ultimate stance, and you will flip yours on, and then you'll get another turn before she does and come out of your ultimate stance. So it's always better if you can have at least 2 turns to hers when she goes into her ultimate stance. You gotta have at least the 2. It's risky if you only have the 1. So the whole name of the game is to charge up your meter, make sure you're ready to go. And in this case, I'm all set. I've got a full ultimate meter here. She just got out of her ultimate, so now I can pop that and just go to work on her team. With all the leftover characters, they really don't add a whole lot, but you got to use something. I mean, he's got L3, R2, all that stuff's great, looks good on paper, but it doesn't do anything. It all comes down to this, where it's just Rey versus Kylo, and usually you get 47, 46 banners, depending on whether or not you get all your health back. And so you'll see that here. She does her whirlwind. I just keep doing AoEs, keep staying healed up. And again, I'm watching my ultimate meter to make sure that it gets charged up. always want to go after a stunned enemy because you can siphon more and you can get an extra attack when you go with a basic. Get that third attack, and if it's a crit, that's an extra 5% charge on your meter. So that's it. Got it all charged up. Now I'm out of my ultimate stance, but she's in the yellow and she's gone. 47 banners, business as usual for that squad. So I knew that wouldn't be a problem. Easy enough. Now we'll go up top and start knocking out some of these squads. Show you how that went. Alright, we'll go ahead and take out his Grievous team. You can see I've got my Nightsisters in for that. It's another good opportunity to practice this counter team. I say practice because even if you have them all reliced up and you know what you're doing, it can go horribly wrong very, very quickly. This is always kind of a nerve-wracking counter. It gets really dicey. It's just a standard Grievous team, all the separatist droids and everything. But the way that it works out, it's like if they target your DACA, it's game over. So we don't want that to happen, but there's really nothing you can do to control it. Just try and keep as many sisters alive as you can, and usually they like to favor everybody else. It seems like they like to ignore DACA unless she gets really low health. So the name of the game is just to keep everybody healed up as best you can and try to keep them alive, and when they die, bring them back with DACA. You don't want to be too low health and keep too many sisters off the field, or that's less targets for the enemy AI to pick. And like I say, you don't want them picking your DACA. So as you're watching this, just take note. I've got relics on my sisters, and you know they're ready for this. They're meant to counter this team. But there's a couple times in here where it's like, wow, that could have gone either way. But for some reason, I mean, it doesn't. Like, I don't know why, but Grievous likes to favor, you know, Zombie, even if Zombie's not taunting, or another Nightsister that's at lower health. As long as you can keep your DACA in the green health, I think you're doing okay. So keep her in the green, and that way the other side tends to ignore her, and that's why this counter works. I mean, you could say it's all just luck every time, but I use it successfully a lot. Look at DACA got into the red, but it's her turn, so she's able to bring everybody back. Brings them back. Well, Asajj is in there, but you bring a few back. Look at that. She brings them back again. This time Asajj is there, but Mother Talzin is not. So I just attack with basics to have Talzin assist from the grave. That's a huge help to help get Plague up on the board. Now I can bring everybody back. Again, Talzin didn't make it back, so we'll use a basic. Keep using basics, so that way Talzin can revive on the finishing blow if DACA doesn't get a turn to revive her with her own special. Here it is her turn, and she is able to revive, so I don't have to worry about Talzin showing up on that last hit to kill Grievous. So there we go. Look at that, all 5 alive. Business as usual there. 55 banners. Very nerve-wracking, but it works. Next up is his Newt Separatist team. I've got plenty of firepower left for this, so I just went ahead and used my Jedi Knight Revan. Figured to use them here just because Nest is there. Don't want to play games whenever Nest is involved. Want to make sure that way I can get her out of there. And they'll do plenty of damage, and also have that mechanic where they can continuously reduce her max health pool. And so that'll get her down to like 2 bars of health. You'll be able to take her out pretty easy, if indeed she's the last one left. So sometimes it works out that way, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, I'm just trying to stun her, you know, keep her on the sideline. I took out Dooku. He's probably the more annoying one. You don't want him messing with the turn meter of the team, you know, giving everybody turn meter, putting them under stealth. Just, I don't like them dictating who I can attack and who I can't. I just don't want to mess with that. So got rid of him. Now I can work on the rest of the team. I'm waiting on Jango to get rid of his damage immunity. So instead I'm going after his tank, which is Scarab Rebel Pathfinder. He's got him relicked up, so I guess that makes a solid tank. And you got to watch out for him getting buffed. If he's buffed, then he's going to revive. But that's not really an issue here because Like I said, I do plenty of damage. It's not like I'm going in with a B tier team. So I can just take out who I want. Now I can get at Django, so send everybody that way. He's already gotten his bounty hunter's resolve gone. Now I just need to kill him one more time. There we go. Now it's down to just Newt and Nest, and there went Newt's first life. There we go. There goes Nest. And now it's just Newt to worry about. Not a lot I can do to heal up for banners, so we take what we get. 56 banners there. Alright, next up is his Karth team. Go ahead and take this out easily with CLS. I mean, there's not a lot to learn here. I'm not using anything, super special. Yes, I could have used CLS somewhere else. Maybe those bounty hunters in the beginning and swapped the Geos to the Newt team and done this or that. You know what I mean? Move things around. But I do like to try different things. If I don't try different things, then I don't know what works and what doesn't. And then I also get bored of it. So since I already won my first 2 rounds, I figured I can go ahead and use this round to experiment a little bit and see what I can do. So unfortunately, my opponent went kind of light, except for his Ray. Everything else was pretty light on defense. So there's not a lot to experiment with. But I use what I have, and right now we're going to take out his Nightsisters. And I didn't really have a counter for these. I didn't know if my opponent liked to put them on defense or not because we can't see the histories. And I didn't really save a counter. So I just got my gas team. And obviously gas is going to work, being one of the top meta counters. And the fact that there's no revives. We'll go ahead and use gas here and take out these sisters, no problem. I think it'll be much better after this week's over, probably tomorrow or so, whenever those the new data hits the SWGOH.gg webpage, and we can see the histories and what our opponents used against us, and we can also see whether they favor putting certain teams on defense or not. Then maybe you can save, bounty hunters for something like this and stick gas on D instead, give them that much tougher of a time. So there we go. They tore through these Nightsisters like nobody's business. Just got zombie left, and there's that. 59 banners there. No big deal. That's all the ground squads. He's just got that Malevolence fleet in back. So we'll go ahead and take that out. We'll play it just like every day in Arena. I ended up getting 61 banners this time, which is fine to me, I guess. You get between 58 and 64 usually. Just depends on how quickly you can kill them. So I got 61, which is decent. My overall score isn't too decent just because I dropped that battle trying stuff out. My opponent did go, and unfortunately this time for me, they got me. They were able to beat me by, looks like 11 banners. So hats off to them. And we'll see what happens next round. But at least we learned a couple things. And we'll see how the next round goes. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.